Hi there, I'm Tim Rayner, the writer of Coalition of the Willing, and I would like to welcome you to the Coalition Brainstorm session of the Coalition Movement Camp. Now, this session is your opportunity to help us figure out how to take the three-part online network described in the 5th chapter of Coalition of the Willing from concept to realization. So I think the first thing that you ought to do to participate in this session is to go to the short segment of Coalition of the Willing titled Network that we have uploaded to the Movement Camp site, and watch that to familiarize yourself or re-familiarize yourself with the three-part site system described in the film. Now, I'll come back to that site system in a moment. First of all, I'd like to present you with a brief parable of sorts to try and explain why it is that we feel that this site system that's described in Coalition of the Willing is so important for the future of the climate action movement today. Okay, the parable is, we live inside a gigantic machine. It's no secret. It's a globalized machine. It's a machine of production, exchange, and mass consumption. And it is destroying our future because this machine works by ripping fossil fuels from the ground and pumping effluent into the atmosphere, which is radically destabilizing the planetary ecosystems and putting us all in hot water. Now, at the moment, a lot of effort is being expanded in trying to convince our political leaders to transform this machine, radically transform this machine, and fast. And, you know, I think all of us support that effort. However, we need to acknowledge that our political leaders are dependent upon the smooth functioning of this machine. When the machine works well, they get re-elected. When the machine hiccups and burps and falls over, they get booted out of office and some other bunch get voted in instead. Usually some bunch who has a less progressive, less pro-climate agenda than we might all like. So that's a real problem for the climate action movement. I think there are a lot of politicians out there who really support climate action, but because we are all caught up in the workings of this gigantic machine, it is very difficult for any single political faction to actually instigate real change without losing their hold on office. So, what's the solution? Well, obviously we have to approach this problem from many different directions at once, and we'll all continue to do that in the coming years. What we are suggesting in Coalition of the Willing is a different kind of approach. We're saying, look, we are confronted with this globalized machine that is blocking change. The solution is to construct a different kind of machine, a machine that uses the internet and that draws on the energies of the human population, focuses those energies in the form of creative swarm activity. That's the vision that we're proposing in Coalition of the Willing. And we talk about a three-part machine. The machine that we discuss has a wiki component, a green knowledge trust. It has an innovation component, an open innovation platform or center. It has a social networking component. That's what we call a catalyst system. And the key idea underlying this vision is that these three components of the machine need to be made interoperable so that the wiki enthusiasts are constantly communicating with the innovation platform people and the social network people. And that the whole thing is linked by a series of links and feeds so that everyone is aware of what the others are doing and enabled to actually form cross-functional teams and groups to propose and create new ways of addressing the climate crisis. We think that this kind of online machine would not only be radically revolutionary and productive, it could potentially inspire people across the world to really get on board and creatively engage the problem of climate change and participate in developing solutions. So that's sort of a rough reprise of the coalition vision, and as I say, you should check out the little video clip to familiarize yourself with what we're talking about. Now, the first thing I want to say here is that the three sites and three sets of functions are discussed in the film are by no means the complete picture. Perhaps there are other functions that need to be brought into this machine to make it work even better. That's my first question to you. Is the vision of the film complete? Or is there more that needs to be built into our online machine? The second major question is more of a challenge, is what already exists? What kinds of internet resources are already out there that we might draw in and make part of this machine? We need to map the field. We need to figure out what existing sites and services are already out there, because we may not need to build this whole machine from scratch. We may just be able to cobble it together from existing sites and services. So the first question is the coalition vision exhaustive? If not, what needs to be brought in there? The second question is, what's the field look like? What kinds of sites and services are already out there? Now, the third question I want to put to you is, I guess it's operating on a slightly higher level of abstraction, and it concerns the kind of social or ethical challenges of bringing together these diverse people. You bring together sustainability people with innovators working in, say, corporate R&D labs, and you put them together with activists who are trying to change the world. You probably, without a little bit of negotiation, you're going to wind up with a massive argument and lack of cooperation. What we need to figure out, and this is really one of the major themes underlying the movement camp, is that the kind of ethical norms and protocols that will be required in order for this kind of complex interoperable system to actually function smoothly. Because we need to identify the principles of this open stewardship, this open, creative way of being. We need to nail down those principles. We need to define them as an ethos, a way of being for the climate era. So that's enough for me. I've written these questions down in text form in a far more clear and succinct manner than I've managed to articulate here. Take a look at them. Let's talk about it. Okay, hope you enjoyed the movement camp.